LEGO Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars has 48 unlockable achievements, and today we're going to get all of them. Now, much like the Complete Saga, you get a load of achievements having a 100% complete save file. In Clone Wars 3 you get 27 achievements just for completing the game 100%. Except, well, you actually get more than that. You see, there are two achievements, one for getting all clone characters, and one for getting all droid characters, which you need all characters anyway to get 100%, so that's another two. You get an achievement for freeing all of the CIS and Separatist villains in the Resolute's holding cell, which you need to buy them to get all the characters, which is another achievement. You get an achievement for doing all bounty hunter missions, which you need to do to get the gold bricks that they offer to 100% of the game. There's another achievement. You get an achievement for landing on the Invisible Hand, which you need to do to unlock the levels Castle of Doom and Hostage Crisis, as well as bounty hunter missions and all of the Separatist characters, which once again if you're going for 100% you need anyway. You also get two achievements for converting all systems to Separatist or Republic, depending on what one you're doing, which you need to unlock Tarkin and Palpatine, once again all characters for 100%. So taking all this into account, we actually get 34 achievements for simply having a 100% completion save file. Which raises the question, if we get almost all of the achievements already for having 100%, what is there left to do? Well, honestly, not that much. Of the achievements left, I think we'll start off with the biggest one, which is 500 clones deployed at barracks. Now, if you've watched the Complete Saga video, where I went through and got all of the achievements in that game, you'll realise why this one is a bit of an issue. I'm playing the game on Steam, and on Steam, the achievements aren't tracked. There's no achievements for the Clone Wars 3 on Steam, there's no achievements for any of the earlier LEGO games for that matter, meaning I have to sit there and manually count each individual enemy destroyed, character unlocked, level complete, things like that. The achievement pop-up that you see on the screen when I get an achievement is simply a visual indicator for you guys to know that I've completed the criteria to get the achievement. That's all that is. With that cleared up, getting 500 clones deployed at barracks isn't actually too difficult at all. Just go into one of the ground assault levels and build a load of barracks. Whenever clones are deployed from the barracks, it deploys 25 clones at a time. 500 divided by 25 is 20, meaning we basically just need to build 20 barracks to get the achievement, as that will spawn the correct amount of clones. Now, something interesting you might notice is that I keep restarting the level. That's because, as you might expect, I tried destroying the barracks, blowing them up and then rebuilding them, but that didn't actually respawn the clones. Now please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, because I'm interested to know. However, I'm assuming that the clones only respawn once the 25 that are already out in the battlefield get defeated, which obviously I didn't wait for that to happen, I just restarted the level instead. Next up, we've got to hijack 20 enemy units in ground battles. Now what this means is that in a ground battle, you've got the enemy bases, and usually they've got turrets on them. When you shoot these turrets, you've got them down to about quarter HP. The pilot droid will fly out of it, will get flung out of it, meaning you can jump in and move the vehicle around, you can shoot it. So we just need to do this 20 times to get the achievement. I went ahead and picked up the next achievement as well, because it made sense considering it's also in a ground battle, and that is to destroy an enemy base using a torpedo. Now the bases in the game, in the ground battle game mode, have giant energy balls that act as the centre of them. If you shoot a torpedo at one of your energy balls, it will cause a reaction and destroy a building. If the base has only got one building in it, it will instead destroy the entire base, which is exactly what I did. I just found a base that has one building in it, shot a torpedo at it, and it destroyed the entire base, giving us this achievement. Next up is a fairly simple one. Complete 5 loop-de-loops, backflips or corkscrews in vehicles. Now the way you perform these movements is by double tapping a direction on the analog stick, and then it will make your ship do the movement in the direction you pressed. So we just need to make sure that we do each of the movements 5 times to get the achievement. Next up is a type of achievement that we haven't actually seen before, and that is a story mode exclusive achievement. And in the level Hostage Crisis, it is to make sure every single member of your party is wearing a Senate Commando helmet. This one's actually fairly simple. The Senate Commandos drop their helmets when you defeat them, because you need them for the level and story mode. So we just need to make sure we pick one up as each individual member of the party. Shouldn't be too hard. Okay, this next one's another fairly simple one, and that is to win 3 consecutive arcade mode battles. Doesn't take too long, however you need to make sure you've got 2 players connected, because the game physically won't let you start arcade mode if you've only got 1 player, so just make sure you've got 2 controllers plugged in and you'll be fine. This one is probably the easiest achievement in the entire game, and it is just to land on a vehicle level with Lando, really nothing special there. Okay, so next up we need to control troops 50 times. This is the easiest done on the ground battle level. Just build some barracks and wait for the troops to come out of them. Make sure you're playing as a commander character, go for the troops and press B, and you'll see a radio icon above their heads meaning you're controlling them, and you just have to do that 50 times to get the achievement. Next up is actually a pretty cool achievement, and that is to complete a level without dying, which gives you a lot of choice honestly, as to what level you pick. Now I decided to go with the hidden enemy, because once you've got past the first section, the rest of the level is basically just an aside from just boss fight. That is fine, however it's the start of the level that's the challenging part. You see there are loads of droids shooting at you, loads of towers shooting at you, and there's a big area full of droids and turrets stopping a gunship from landing. Now in story mode what you're supposed to do is build a turret, shoot the turrets that are stopping the gunship from landing, kill a tactical droid, get its head, and use it on the droid panel. However, because we're doing this in free play, we can just use a rocket clone, shoot the turrets as they're silver objects, and then switch to a droid character that can use the panel, which skips most of the difficult parts. We've got a really satisfying achievement now, which is destroy 100 droids using a chain gun. Now the achievement name is called We Really Did Say No Prisoners, which, if you know Star Wars Clone Wars at all, then you'll know exactly what that's in reference to. In fact, Heavy, the clone he's talking about, has a chain gun. And you play as Heavy in the level called Rookies, and in that level there's a separatist landing craft that infinitely dispenses droids, so it should be pretty obvious where we're going for this one. Alright, so next up we need to use the Force to destroy 50 droids using a super battle droid. Now when you're using the Force on a super battle droid, it will just shoot stuff, and you can control where it shoots. Shouldn't take too long. Next up, fairly simple one again. Destroy 50 gold bricks. Now gold bricks can be destroyed using either characters with chain guns, or by commanding a squad of clones to go and shoot something gold. Pretty easy this one. Now for the penultimate achievement, you need to defeat 5 enemies with Yoda using a single lightsaber throw. This one's extremely simple. Just hold the attack button and hover over 5 enemies using the target that it gives you, and then let go, and Yoda will throw his lightsaber and defeat all 5 of them. And finally, for our last achievement, twice the pride double the fall, defeat Anakin as Count Dooku. And that is it. Every single achievement, or 48 of them. Now if I'm honest, after having done both the Complete Saga and Lego Star Wars 3, I feel like the Complete Saga has better achievements overall, and I think that's mainly down to the fact that you don't get over half of them, just for having a 100% completion save file. There are things in the Complete Saga that you have to go out of your way to do, whereas in Clone Wars 3 you just get most of them for playing the game, which I think made this a little less exciting than Complete Saga, which if you've seen the last video, you might think that that's an interesting take, considering the title was that LEGO Star Wars Complete Saga achievements aren't fun. However, the not being fun part was my method for doing it. Wasn't fun having to sit there and manually count each individual droid kill, each individual blaster dodge, each lightsaber block, etc. That was the part that wasn't fun. The achievements themselves were great, and I'm sure doing them on an actual console where you don't have to manually keep track of them would be a lot of fun, but it was just sitting there and staring into my screen to make sure I count each individual thing. That was the actual issue, and that was the part that wasn't fun. Which was entirely a fault of the way I was doing it, not a fault of the game. Either way, yes, that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like, comment and subscribe. The video on screen now is the Complete Saga version of this video, so if you enjoyed this video, I'm sure you'll love that one too. It's laid out exactly the same formatting, same achievement pop-ups, same edited Xbox sound, same everything, just for the Complete Saga instead of LEGO Star Wars 3. But yeah, that's it. I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.